What's going on, mate? This is Riley Knight from the podcast Half-Assed History, here to have a bit of a chat with you about the heroes featured in Hidden Cup 5. All the heroes the players are using to hide their true identities are real-life people from history featured as units in various Age of Empires campaigns. And while T90 is an avid history lover, his knowledge and memory of history would pretty firmly make him a historical low elo legend, I think it's fair to say. So he invited me along to tell you a thing or two about these heroes we're watching square off against one another. Let's get to know one of them a little bit better. Pachacuti Inca Yupanqui is remembered as the founder of the Inca Empire and for having built the incredible mountaintop citadel Machu Picchu. This bloke has quite the legacy. Before Pachacuti came along, Cusco was one of many smaller tribal city-states found in what is today Peru, but by the time he had finished, Pachacuti had made Cusco the imperial capital of a realm that spanned vast territories along the Andean Mountains, a realm that only grew after his death as well. And all of this was done without the wheel, without writing, without much in the way of iron or steel, and without money or markets. We all know that the Inca don't get stables, obviously, but technically speaking, they probably shouldn't get markets, or crossbowmen for that matter, or even actually eagle warriors, which is very interesting. They were an Aztec thing, not an Inca thing. It's very weird that the Inca not only have them, but they're also the cheapest eagle warriors. It's not like they need them anyway. The Inca already have a counter to absolutely everything. Anyway, Pachacuti. He was born around 1418 and he began life as a brave and courageous young man, taking over the leadership of Cusco at the age of just 20. After his father and older brother fled in the face of an invading army. Pachacuti stayed to defend the city and was rewarded for this by being proclaimed Sapa Inca, which translates to only leader. After rebuilding Cusco, it was now the Incas' turn to go on the attack, and from 1438 onwards, Pachacuti sent his renewed forces out to attack and conquer surrounding regions. But this conquest wasn't always made just through force of arms. In many cases, and especially as his realm grew stronger, Pachacuti was able to persuade other city-states to accept his authority without bloodshed. And honestly, as time went on, joining the Inca Empire came with a lot of incredible benefits. If you accepted Inca imperial authority, you would benefit from all the positives of a quickly growing, prosperous and powerful realm. Pachacuti would usually shower the people who joined his empire voluntarily with gifts, bit of a sign-on bonus there. And soon enough, you'd have Inca roads through your territory and could enjoy the prosperity and security that came with being under Pachacuti's authority. And hey, also, free llama at the start of your game, mate. Can't say fairer than that, but resist. And Pachacuti would march his soldiers into your territory, crush you into the dirt with his cheap infantry units, and then leave them behind to garrison your town and make sure you didn't get any ideas of rebellion. So, it was a good idea, generally, to recognise the way the wind was blowing and fall in with Pachacuti as he brought peace, freedom, justice and security to his new empire. Well, maybe not so much on the freedom front, but hey, you can't win them all. But honestly, Pachacuti wasn't just a conqueror. He was a builder too. I mean, of course he was. 15% discount on stone, mate. Of course he's going to take advantage of that, isn't he? Pachacuti undertook massive infrastructure projects, the most ambitious of which was probably the huge network of roads that connected his empire, but the most famous of which is, of course, Machu Picchu, which can still be found today in the mountains northwest of Cusco in Peru, a huge imperial citadel overlooking the surrounding peaks. Built from around 1450 onwards, it was likely a retreat for Pachacuti and his descendants, and after being built, its location was actually a closely guarded military secret, so much so that when the Spanish arrived years after Pachacuti's death, they never actually found it. It remained unknown to most of the world until the 20th century, which is truly amazing, given how magnificent it is and, of course, how famous it has become today. Pachacuti single-handedly forged the Inca Empire, spending his life ruling and expanding with his signature combination of diplomacy and conquest until, at last, his eventual death in 1471. After Pachacuti, the Inca Empire only grew and grew, and at its apex, it spanned territory from Colombia to Argentina. But there never was another Sapa Inca quite as incredible as Pachacuti, the founder of an empire and a toweringly important figure in the history of pre-Columbian South America. Will Pachacuti's legacy expand even further with victory and domination in Hidden Cup 5, or will he crumble into ruin as his mighty mountaintop fortress has? We'll find out soon enough.